Hi everyone. So today I decided that I will be working on the Twitch bot. So right now I'm laying out the foundations for the Twitch bot. Basically, I was working on the permissions. I don't think I was live when I did that because some of it was done while I was watching Grim play with the Java bot. So what I am going to do today is just keep on working on the permissions, and there will be after this I will be creating I will be laying out the foundations for some kind of a small scripting engine that allows users to create their own commands and have their own commands run for them. So I will probably investigate parsing libraries. Since I'm a Scala guy, I saw that there was this fast parse library that I've heard about but never had the chance to use. And quick disclaimer: never had the chance personally to work on any of these. On any parsing library. So I will be investigating this. It should be fun. Because basically I want users to be able to create their own specific commands, have some variables, do some conditions, and this kind of stuff. So that should be fun. So yeah, right now, the first thing I need to do is I need to be working on the permissions. So let me share my screen, and I already have here a list of the tests that I want to do. So, like for example, here an owner user should have access to everything except blocked resources. So I'm using the word resource here because I don't want to limit myself just to commands. I potentially might have other things later. So I want to be able to have something very generic. So here, what I'm doing is I set the permissions for my user as I set the permissions for my user as an owner, and then I try to compare. So I use this can access method with the first element here is the resource access, and the second one is the user's access. And here that is potentially could be the username. Why the username? Because we have user specific permissions. So, for example, some resource could be only accessed by specific users. So that's why I decided to have this third argument, which is going to be my username. Very quickly, the way can access works is first I look here, is my user blocked? Because if he's blocked, by definition, he should not have access to anything. So that's why here I've set it to, I return false. So can access equals false means that he doesn't have any access to anything. Then I check if my resource permission, I check what the permission associated to my resource is. If it is blocked, well, same thing as for my user, in which case I return false. Otherwise, if this resource permission is user specific, so in that case, I cast it as a user specific resource. And first of all, I take a look. Is my user an owner? In which case, well, since he is an owner, he should have access to everything. So in that case, I say yes. Or if he's not an owner, in that case, then I take a look at the whitelist within my user-specific permissions, and I try to see, does it contain my username? And finally, if it's neither blocked nor nor a user specific, then what I'm doing is I'm applying a bit mask against that. So basically, for example, as a quick reminder, a bit mask here, let's see. So let's consider that I have two different elements. I have resource like this, which is in binary representation. That's going to be, let's say, my resource is 0001. Sorry. And my user here. So my user is going to be 0010. So here, what it means is that resource and user. Ooh, I made a mistake in the arrow. So resource and user is equal to 0001, the binary AND operator, and then 0010, which is, so I take bit by bit. So the first 0 and 0, so false and false is false. Same thing for the second one. False and true is false again, and false and so yeah, false and true is false again, and true and false is false again. So that would be returning a 0. However, so let's put some extra. So if permissions don't match, and so here let's do an example if the permissions match. I'm gonna copy pretty much the same thing here. So if permissions match, okay, so in that case, let's say my resource is 0011. So in that case, what I'm doing is I'm doing a bit operator, and here I see that the second bit from the end is set to 1, which means that the permissions match. I am good to go. Okay, so here I'm just applying a bit mask and just comparing it to 0, just to see if everything works fine and I don't have any surprises. So that means that since I am using a long, I believe longs are 64 bits. Yeah, 64 bits. So that means that I can have up to 64 different permissions, which should be fine in our case. From what I gather, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that leaves us a lot of slack. So initially what I did was for the permissions, I had a user mask and a permission and a resource mask as an argument for my class. Right now, I want to create a resource mask out of the different user masks available. So say, for example, here blocked, I want my resource mask to be set to 0 because I want always, if I execute a logical AND, well, not a logical, a bitwise operation AND, in that case, I want to always return 0, meaning that it should always be blocked. So I'm gonna just right now, for now, copy everything. So owner, yeah, I want to replace, oopsie, I should put a comma instead of that, comma. Oh no, okay, yeah, I shouldn't, instead of a comma, I need to replace these with that, like that, okay. Okay. Yeah. This one is going to be int dot max value. Yep. And user specific, I'm gonna leave it at 0, just like the others. Okay, so I have some kind of matrix here that says, okay, if my user here is blocked, then it should have for each one of these columns, that is who has access to this. So if there is an X, that means that my owner, for example, has access to owner specific resource, but my user also has access to moderator, VIP, subscriber, trusted, and everyone. So the way it translates, and I think this will make a bit more sense. So blocked shouldn't have access to anything. Owner should have access to its own user mask, but it should also have access to moderator user mask. It should also allow VIP dot user mask, subscriber dot user mask. And so we have user mask, moderator, VIP, subscriber. What else? What else can I do? So subscriber, trusted, and everyone. So trusted dot user mask and everyone dot user mask, like that. So let's reorganize this guy. It looks a tiny bit better. And moderator is going to be almost the same. So I'm just going to copy this. The only thing is, okay, so here the only thing is I want to get rid of moderator since it's redundant, and then user mask, so that will be this user mask here, VIP.user mask, subscriber, and so on. And we're going to do the same thing for VIP. Okay, so I want to get rid of moderator and VIP, and then a VIP should have access to VIP permissions as well as subscriber, trusted, and everyone. And then a subscriber is going to have access to subscriber resource as well as trusted and everyone. Trusted should have access to their own user mask plus everyone. And everyone should have if a resource is set to everyone, then here all the bits should be set to 1, so that anyone with at least a bit set to 1 should have access. Okay, good. All right, so so everyone has a 1, 2, 4, 8. So every time that I am shifting a bit to the left. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and I could continue and have other users as well. Okay, good. Perfect. So let's make sure I had these tests here. So I'm going to run my test just to be sure that I am not breaking stuff. Okay, so the tests are running. Okay, and everything's green, so I should be fine. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so my permissions have been fixed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a commit. What is this Scala? Oh yeah, I'm just changing it now so that when I do my deploys to main, I'm going to run my test. I don't want to deploy stuff with breaking tests, so that's why I just added this test before it tries to publish things locally. Okay, so let's commit this. And here I'm going to say work on permissions. There we go. So I have my, yes, I also created a command context, permissions test, and change that. Okay, perfect. So commit, and push. And pushing it. Cool. Hang on, I just got a notification. I need to step out for a few seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about this. And I am gonna try and turn my phone to airplane mode. Sorry about that. Okay, I should be fine now. Okay, so now my permissions are working. I should be fine. So next thing I want to do is and I am just gonna get rid of this guy. Yeah, I should have okay, so I am going to commit my files. I need to amend and push, and since I did an amend, I'm gonna need to force push my change because I just rewrote history. Okay, good. Good. All right, so now I've got my permissions working. The next thing I want to do is I want to set the stage for my well, let's bot shell. So bot shell is a bit of a mouthful. I'm gonna create a new Scala class. So bot shell botch. Not really. Yeah, let's call it botch. And so this one is going to be bot shell evaluator. Okay. So right now let's make an object out of it. Perfect. Yeah. So what I want to do is I am going to get something in input and get some output. So I am going to create a method called process. And in this process, I'm going to have my input, which is going to be, I think I created something in my commands. So right now I've got, no, maybe command context. Yeah. So I have a command context. So what I can do here is first, let's create a case class, which is going to be, let's see, bot shell, inputs. And so this input is going to have a, well, let's say a command, which is going to be a string. That is a string that I want to parse. I could have also some context about it. So I could have some environment variables, some user variables. Date might not be required though. Let's leave date aside for now. An environment variable, I could have information such as my username, such as the channel, and so on. So that's where I'm going to save these. In user variables, what I am going to have are the variables for my user. So let's say, for example, my user defines a new variable called a. Well, in that case, I'm going to save this variable with here the key is going to be a, and any is going to be the contents, the evaluation of this a. Okay, and that is something very naive. Again, I have never done anything about parsing, so I don't know if we need to have it lazy loaded or what. I'm just gonna, for now, be eagerly evaluating stuff. Okay, so my bot shell input has a command, and what is it gonna do? It's also gonna have some context, which is not going to be a string context, but a command context, like this. Cool. And I'm also gonna have case class, like that. Bot shell output. Which is going to give me, well, so if I have an input, then I could be returning a response. Let's say, for example, I have a echo and I want to pass, I want to display some calculation. So here I could have something that is being returned, but not necessarily. Let's say, for example, if I am trying to assign a value, I don't necessarily want to have the value back. So I'm going to have my response, which is going to be an optional string. And since I am potentially modifying my context, so let's say I am trying to assign a variable. So if I am trying to assign a variable, then I can I need to return a new context. So context like this, and I'm going to return a command context. So here, process is going to take a bot shell input and return a bot shell output. There we go. And I believe the 3 questions marks because I haven't implemented it yet. Okay, so I have this thing now. Let's try to create my test associated to that. So I'm going to take copy paste special. I need to copy the reference, and I am going to go to my test right here. I'm going to create a new Scala class, which is going to be an object called bot shell evaluator test. Okay. So I'm going to take the same structure as my permissions test. So that's going to extend default runnable spec. And I'm going to take at least one test like this. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so, and let's copy these. Perfect. Okay, so here that's going to be my I'm going to be testing bot shell evaluator. And the first thing, the only method that I have right now is called process with a bot shell input. So let's copy this and put the signature here because that is what I am going to test. So I don't need the name. I just need the signature. Okay, so here I am going to have a bunch of tests. Let's leave it empty for now. Perfect. I will be adding these later, but So my first test. So what do I want my shell to do? What I want my shell to do is if I pass so if I pass a numeric value, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to return the numeric value? Probably yes. So if I pass a numeric value, I want to have it returned. Okay, so here what this means, let's translate it. So I have this partial input, partial output, okay. So here var input equals, so let's leave it aside, then var result. So this input should be a bot shell input like that. So var result equals of bot shell evaluator dot process of my input. And I want to run some tests. So assert that, let's do something simple for now. Result dot response. Okay, so here I want to make sure that my response is defined. And so that if I have this input, then I want to return, I want to have I want it to be and result. So let's do that. Result dot response dot get. Because I've tested before that it is defined, so I should be fine to be calling get. It's a bit ugly, I agree, but should be fine. So here, if I do get and I want to test, no, get and then equal. So I want this to be equal to my input dot command. Perfect. Okay, so now I need to generate a numeric value. So I'm gonna be doing the same as I did. Do I have anywhere? Yeah, so here I'm gonna be using some property testing. So I'm gonna be checking that any number. So let's do that. So check. Okay. I'm going to be calling Jan dot. Do they have something about any number maybe? So I have any car, any int, bytes, double floats, X character, long, short, Unicode character, U per X, UID, ASCII character. But I don't seem to be having any. Okay. So I don't have this. Let's leave it to long. Oh, so if I pass a long value, so long should be valid for integers as well. So that is going to be my number here. And so now that I have this number, I need to create a bot shell input. So let's do bot shell input. And so in my bot shell, let's move the test here so that I can keep an eye on the structure of the class and method that I'm testing. So command is going to be number.toString like that. So I'm converting my number to a string, and the comment context, so context equal, so what does it look like? Comment context. Right now I'm going to leave some default values, so no, it's not nil. Do I have map.empty? Maybe yes. And I'm going to do the same thing for environment variables, map.empty. So that allows me to create a default comment context. Good. All right, so where, let's go back here. So here I'm going to be calling command. There we go, command context, and leave it empty. So I am passing different parameters. Okay, so why is it complaining now? Oh, I need to do an assert true. Okay, so it is complaining because I am returning, instead of a test result, I am returning a URIO of test result. So I need to just change the test to test M, and it's not complaining anymore. Okay, so here I want to test 0, 1. So let's do that. I'm going to copy the same thing. This time I want to test with a double. So any double number, and that should be the same. So here the label is going to be if I pass a double value, and that's going to be the second test of my method in this class. Good. Okay. So then I want to test. So let's do yet another test. So right now, if I pass a string value, I want to have it returned. And I am going to put a exclamation. I'm going to put a command. Strings as input are surrounded by double quotes. Okay, so here I am passing these. I'm gonna be passing a string. That's gonna be an str. I don't need to transform this string to a string since it is already one. However, there must be something I need to be careful about, namely that if I already have a double quote in my string, I don't want it to end my string. So let's do something like this. So var command string equals. So I want to have it surrounded. So here, well, backslash double quote. So that is the first double quote. Then, see. So then I want to have str, then backslash double quote, and then double quote. So this backslash str, that's, oh, I need to put that. So here I am surrounding str with double quotes. However, if str already contains a double quote within, I need to escape it. So how do I do that? Maybe let's do something like str dot replace. Do I have this? So replace old car with a new car. Perfect. So the old car that I want to replace are the double quotes. And the new card that oh no, I don't want to replace it with a character. I want to replace it with two characters, which is backslash double quote. So okay. So I want to replace my double quotes with a backslash. So I need to escape it and double quote like that. And then I need to close this curly brace. So this here, let's call it escaped str, and escaped str is str. It's basically this whole thing here. Control X. Okay. Okay. So this is my third test, and this third test, so I've got my escaped string, so I escape all the double quotes with backslash double quotes, and since every time this is, ooh, that's kind of hard to understand. And then I want to surround my escape string with these. Okay. So here the response is going to be str. That's the way it should be running. And instead of here of creating my input with command string with string, I need to create it with command string. Hey Elias, how are ya? Sorry, I was too focused on this thing. So okay, so right now kind of nope, no, not yet. So I deactivated it for now. Right now I just have the stream element running because I'm working live with the bot. I haven't deactivated stream element just yet. What I am going to do, I am just working on these on the bot, so I don't have it running. It's broken for now. So that's why I use the stream element. But to be totally frank, right now the only command that works would be, if I were to run it, would be ping, and the command would be ff_ping. So it's not running. So yeah, it will eventually be running. Maybe later this the stream, if I'm lucky. But I am working on that right now, so that's why I deactivated it. I don't want it to go berserk and create problems. Okay, so next test I want to do is, so now the next thing I will want to do is I want to assign an expression to a variable. So let's do that. So test, that's going to be my fourth test, and I want to, so I want to, what's the name again? I want to assign values to a variable. Okay. Okay, so I need to have my, I am going to create my input. I'm going to evaluate it, and I have my test. So let's do that. So the command string is going to be, right now, let's say var variable name equal, and yeah, let's say a for now, and var variable value, and I'm gonna put it 1. Okay, so now command is going to be, I want to have a simple command which is going to be variable name. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, man. Thanks. Okay, so what, so here that's going to be, let's say variable name, and then plus equal, and then plus variable value. So once it passes through the process, in my output, the response is going to be, what is it going to be? So the response is going to be, should I return? Yeah, so response should be defined, and it should say variable value dot toString. Okay. Also, another thing that I want to test is my context should be updated, and I should have in my context, I should have in my user variables a new entry that contains a as a key and 1 as an associated value. Okay, so here let's do that. So result dot context dot user variables, yeah, dot, can I do something that contains? Okay, so I've got contains key, or maybe exists. Yeah, so here exists. So exists takes a tuple made of a string and any value and returns Boolean. Okay, sounds easy enough. So exist. Okay. Maybe I'm going to separate it into a different. Well, let's leave it as let's leave it here for now. So exists. So now I have a tuple. So I need this to be equal to. So the key is going to be my variable name associated to my variable value. Okay, so I have some problems. Oh yeah, I need to close these parentheses. So now it returns an assert. So here I am testing that the response is defined, that response.get, so that I am returning the variable value as a string, and my context should have been updated, and there should be something in my user variables with this variable name and variable value. Probably I could add another condition. Yeah, no, let's let's not do that just yet. I was thinking about making sure that this is not empty, but that is redundant because if it was empty, the exist would return false. So that's a bit redundant to be doing it. Also, so here, what I need to do is I think I'm going to be using this str replace very often. So as a utility method, I'm going to do def escape string, and this is going to take a string as input, returns a string as output, and what it is going to do is exactly this. So I am going to do that because something tells me that I will need that on a regular basis. So here bot shell evaluator dot escape string of my string str. And here I will be able to do the same. So I want to make this a bit more generic. So I will need to generate any string and any long value, and make sure that that this condition is true every time. Okay, so here same thing. I'm gonna go and take a check. So check, and that's so that's not going to be any string. My variable value for now, I'm going to limit myself uh, to only variables starting with either, well, that must be a character between A to Z in lower and uppercase, and then it could be any character from A to Z with underscores and also numbers. All right, so let's take a look at the Java pattern documentation. There should be, I guess, something to do that. So Java doc pattern. Where is that? Java doc pattern, and well, let's try to run this. Yeah, so I use that so often that I see it. So here I want to have my first character must be, so it must be something between A to Z. Okay, so these word characters I will need afterwards, but right now what I want is only anything between A to Z in lower N. So this is all ASCII, probably not. And these POSIX characters in alphabetic characters, so it's P lower or P upper. Okay, that sounds interesting. So I want my first character. Okay, so let's create a generator that will generate random random variable names. So I'm gonna go back here. The first thing, don't know why it put a end. Okay, must be something to do with IntelliJ. So here, val variable name gen, which is going to be a generator, and I want this. So the first character, so it could be only one character. So it could be just one character, and then generate a list of other characters. Okay, let's see. Maybe in a for comprehension, I could do that. Why does it keep on closing this? I don't get it. Okay, I was missing a curly brace. Okay, so yield for now, I'm gonna leave it empty. So my first character, So can I do something like gen dot, and do I have, so I have any character, alpha character. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, and then remainder. So this one is going to be a list of characters which are going to be alphanumeric. So gen dot probably list. Okay, good. So list of, and then gen dot alphanumeric. I've got alphanumeric string or alphanumeric character. Probably alphanumeric string would be good. So gen instead of list of, gen of alpha numeric string. Okay, good. And here what I want to do is I want to return first character plus the remainder. Is it? So what is the value that gets returned here? That would be add type annotation that gives me a string. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So this character followed by this string. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that alphanumeric is giving me, so what is it giving me? So it's creating a string from alphanumeric char, and alphanumeric is giving me stuff. So I have weighted, so between 48 and 57, and oh man, not quite sure what that is. And I think it seems to be missing underscores. So alpha characters, it gives me characters between 65 and 90. Good. And 97, 122. Good. And here I've got 48 to 57. So that must be the numbers. Yes. So I am missing underscores. So do I want to allow underscores in my variables? Probably that now I can leave it aside and not really care about underscores. Yeah, probably. All right, so okay, I have some errors here. Okay, so here I want to get a variable name gen, and I also want to have a, well, for now I'm going to be taking any long, and this thing is giving me a tuple. I guess, or maybe let's call it a variable name and variable value. Okay. I need to, so I don't need to escape it since it should not by design contain any double quotes. So I can probably just safely put variable name equal variable value. Yeah, that should be fine. I don't need to escape it just yet. Okay, so that's how it should be working, and I need to change it to test M. Yes, so it's all good. Formatted 2 lines. Okay, so now I'm just going to say that I want to execute test 1, test 2, test 3, and test 4. Okay. Okay. So these are my tests. Okay, what else? So probably I should be passing something like this. So here, entry is going to be 1, 2, 3, and it will return 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, if I pass 123.4, it should return 123.4. This one, so this one, I am going to pass. This is a test with double quotes around, and that will return. This is a test. And here I am going to pass a equal 1, and that will return 1. Okay, so maybe I should put a test to make sure that variables, the variable names are properly escaped, and that it creates a problem or something. So what happens if I have a problem? Should I, yeah, if I have a problem right now, in my output with the response is an option of string. So if I have a problem, let's say for example that my variable has a character that is not recognized by my parser, the response is going to be empty. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Let's do that. So I'm going to copy this whole thing here. Control C, Control V, and so here testing if variables are not properly formatted. So instead of doing these like that, what I'm gonna do is, what am I gonna do? So first of all, I want to test that the response is not defined. So response is empty, and that should be it. Probably I want to make sure that my context hasn't changed. So result.context. So this result.context is the same. So equal my input.context. So I want to make sure that the response is empty and my context hasn't been modified. Okay. So I have all of these. I am going to extract that to make it a method, and I'm going to be calling this method with multiple. Can I do that though? Let's give it a try. So def test, and so here I'm passing variable name is going to be a string, and variable value is going to be a long for now. Okay. And let's surround this whole thing with that. So that gives me an assert. Okay, let's make it explicit. So, all right. So now I want to run this. So val test one, I guess. Should I separate these? I probably should. Yeah. Instead of trying to make this better, I am going to put them so here. Let's see, variable name. So val variable name equal, and then what would be forbidden? Let's see. Yeah, something with a character like this, probably. So a parenthesis. No, parenthesis will be meaningful and have a different meaning. Yeah, let's start with a number. So variable name, that plus bad variable name like this, and variable, oh no, variable value equal, and for now I just want to have 1. So why? Oh yeah, because it is returning an assert. Okay. And I already have something called test4, so this one's going to be test5. And so I should not be able to assign values to variables with incorrect names. Okay. Okay, so let's think about it now. So I should not be able to assign values to variables with incorrect names. I've got this one bad variable name. I've got this value here. So that is also something I will need to take into account for. I'm not really happy with this. This is not generic enough, but I guess this will have to do for now. Probably. Anyway, I can always work and fine-tune this afterwards. So I've got my bottle input, bottle output. Let's put as a note that I also want to have tests for conditions. So I want to be able to run some conditions. What else? Let's think about it. So I can have my test for conditions. Oh, I probably should allow people to be using let's say, so I want to have conditions. I want to have variables. I already have numbers and strings. I can consider my booleans as numbers, and anytime I have, so if I pass a string, that will fail. And I want to be able, I will need to, okay, so I will need to test for casting. So I need to be able to test for casting. I want to have a number to string. And then string to number. String to number like this. Before I test from conditions, I want to have, as I said, tests for booleans. Or do I want to consider my booleans like C does and just numbers, as I said previously? Probably. Let's think about it. Let's put a question mark next to that just yet for now. Okay, so test for booleans, test for conditions, number to casting from number to string, casting from string to number. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have a quick break right now. So I have a few tests already running. So I want to go and so I heard about this library called FastParse in Scala that allows me to parse inputs and just process them. So I don't know anything about it. I probably will need to go and find some tutorial on that. So let's do that. Google fast parse Scala. Okay. I've got FastParse 2 in 2018, and I went to this one in yesterday. Yeah, good. Okay. So yeah, that's the project site. Do they have any kind of so there is the hands-on Scala programming. That's a book I have, but I'm not going to be reading this book online because I'm probably going to have some copyright problems if I do that. For a good hands-on tutorial working through the basics. Oh yeah, basics sounds good. Easy parsing with parser combinators. Okay, that's interesting. What about this? So, okay. So this blog introduced FastParse 2, a new major version of FastParse parser combinator. Gives you parser that runs 2-4 times faster on real-world parsers than FastParse 1. Okay. That's interesting. So let's see. From this, you can call parse on any of the parser object, pass in the string you want to parse, and it spits out the parsed and in this case evaluated output. So here I've got an expression, expr. So okay, that would be all right. So let's see. Here we've got this eval, which gets a tree of int and sequence of string and int. So here, a number here is defined as a character between 0 and 9, repeated once, and then I want to map rep1. Okay, I'm not sure what this rep1 is. And then I want to map it to a string. Okay, so I guess that it must be rep. Oh, we can always look this up later. Then I've got these parents. So here I've got I can surround this add sub. What is add sub? Is it indicated somewhere? Nope. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that is. So I can surround. I guess that must be some sub expression or some evaluated tree. And factor can be a number or a parenthesis. So here div and multiply. So factor car in da da da. Oh man, I think I will need to read a lot of documentation on that. But that seems interesting. So this parse here, so divmul is, as the name indicates, that allows you to do either a multiplication or a division. Add sub allows you to do an addition or a subtraction, and this expr here allows you to do that. Okay. So here I take factor. So factor is that. Then map eval. Ooh, not super easy for someone like me who has never been exposed to that. So factor. Okay. What is, okay, factor is this guy here. I have no idea what this add sub, oh, add sub is here. So I can put an add sub between parentheses, I guess. Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. So div mod, okay. Mm. So here, when I try to do that, that parses 1 plus 1, and we should have a success with 2. XPR parse of 1 plus 1 times 2 plus 3 times 4. So 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 12, 12, 15. Yeah, okay, so that's the correct. Okay. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3 times 4, 3 times 5, 15. 15, because this 3 and that 3 should... Oh, no, 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 no. So 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3 times 4, 12 times 5, 60. So 63 divided by 3, 21. Yes, okay, 21. Okay, and then this pass failure expected, fail index, and extra. So here I've got this plus 1 star, and expected is numbers parents. Okay, so we are expecting either a number or a parenthesis, and it failed at index 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, instead of having a plus, I should have either a number or, okay. Ooh, okay, I think I understand that. Now it's going to be a different story to try to implement it myself. Okay. Let's before I do that, let's go and see. So easy parsing with parser combinators. When was this one? So this one was in 2016, and that one was in 2018. Yes. Okay. So maybe not the most up to date. Let's see. Do they have any other documentation that I could be using? So developer doc. Well, I just want to use it. I don't want to develop. So probably not. So that's the old library. Maybe let's see. What is this? Fast to write, fast running parsers in Scala. So that's the exact same text as before, comparable in speed to a handwritten parser. Okay, automatic excellent error reporting and diagnostics, streaming parsings. Yeah. So they talk about this getting started and what we need to use. So I need to import this library since I'm using SBT. And the simplest parser matches a single string. Okay, so fast parse, non-white space, and then I need to def parse A. Okay. So I can define here. Let's go and import the library first. Now that should, and then we can try and play with it. So in my library, the way it has been structured is I have a project with libraries here. So I want to be using here, so Control V, I am going to call this one so var fast parse equal, and then I'm going to be using this, and this 222 I will be putting it here. So var fast parse version equal that, and fast parse version. Okay, we reformat everything, Control S. And then now that my library has been added, I want to go to my build.sbt and reference this one. So that's going to be libraries dot fast parse, like this. Cool. And let's refresh SBT. Okay, so it is taking some time. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to this documentation and try to read it. Okay, so after I have this, the simplest parser matches a single string. So yeah, here I want to be making sure that I have an A, and if I pass a B, then it should fail. Okay, that makes sense. So such a parser returns parse success if the input matches the string, and otherwise returns a parsed.failure. As you can see, by default, the parse success contains a unit unless you use capture or map described below. So I guess we will be seeing this later. You can also wrap the strings in an ignore case if you want the matching to be case insensitive. Good. That's interesting. That's what I want to do. So I will be using ignore case. Thanks for letting me know about this. Then the P lets you write mutually recursive parsers without running into circular initialization problems, and gives the parser a nice human readable name from the def it is being assigned to, which appears in parse error message. In general, every time you assign a parser to a def, you should wrap it in a P. Okay, so P basically, where is it? Okay, that's here. Basically, that says, oh, and that is a def. Gotcha. So I want here parse is comparing an input string to a parser. So I will need to create a specific parser, and then I can compare this with my I can compare this to what I'm passing. Okay. So you can also call fastparse.parse or any readable value such as array by to parse binary data or Java input stream for streaming parsing. Ooh, fancy. I probably won't need that since I am already getting my strings, but that is good to know. Okay, so here it says, so the next one is parse either. So here I expect either an A or a B. Parse A, so parse either, and then I've got this question mark tilde C. And if I pass D, I am getting a failure. Okay, so what does this one mean? Do they mention that? So when parsing, dealing with failures is an important part of making this work. But FastParse provides 3 levels of error reporting you can ask for when a parse fails. The default parse.failure only tells you the position of the error message without any clues what went wrong at that position. So parse.failure, where is it? Okay, parse.failure is here. So that tells me I had an error. Okay. You can pass in the flag verbose failure equals true to fast parse to get a better description of what caused the parse failure. This slows down the parse down by a significant amount. You can then use the .msg or long msg to see what is going on. So that is verbose failures to fast parse.parse. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Fast parse.parse, and I need to pass. So .trace collects additional metadata to use for error reporting. So expected C. Oh, I see. So what this means is it should start with A or B and then follows, and then we have, oh, could start with A, B. That's the question mark. So that means that we could have 0 or 1 of these elements and then have C. So if we pass D, then this is neither A, B, or C. That's why it fails. Okay, so you can call failure.trace on an existing failure to perform. That's what they're doing here. That's when we are getting some errors. On an existing failure to perform a second parse over the initial input. This also gives you access to failure.trace.msg. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, sequence. You can combine two parsers with the tilde operator. This creates a new parser that only succeeds if both left and right parsers succeed one after another. So this one is AB. So, okay, that I am expecting A and followed by B. So parse AB, this one succeeds, and AA fails because the second character is not a B. Perfect. Easy. Repeat. So A rep tilde B. So I need to have A any number of time and then followed by B. Okay, so this one I understand why that works. However, I don't understand why this one works. Any number of times, B, so is. Okay, so any number of time, wherever that is. Okay, interesting. Then I can have some separator B. I have to admit I don't get why this one should fail, should not succeed. Because I've got AAA, that's okay, B here, but I have yet something else after this, and that shouldn't be the case, should it? Okay. So I have A, B, C. So A that can repeat, and I can have a separator B. So A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, that works. And everything should end with C. This one. Okay, so here that doesn't work because these two A's are not separated by a B. Okay, I guess. Okay, this one is A with a separator B must be repeated at least twice and maximum 4 times. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Oh man, I don't understand these parsing. Do they have more information? So rep creates a new parser. Creates a new parser then parser 0 or more times. If you want to parse something a given number of times, you can use a rep. So repeat overshot a rep 1 for 1 or more times. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these and I am gonna try to run them myself to try to understand. Because sometimes the documentation might not be up to date, so just want to be sure that I get it. Okay, so Scala bots. Let's go to my test. I'm gonna take some some tests, some fake tests. I'm gonna call it. So yeah. So here I'm gonna say call it parser tests, and I'm gonna call this one parser test. Okay. So okay. So let's go back to the first problem I had. First, I'm gonna do an import fast parse and non-white space. I don't want to have any problems with these. Okay. So what he was saying, so the first one that I could not understand was, so the sequence I understand, that's the repeat here, then this succeed that I don't get. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so I have A and B, and then I want to parse this. Val result equal good. So let's do an assert true. So result dot is success. That should be a success. Okay. And I am going to use my parser text instead of these tests here. Okay, so let's try to run this guy. Okay, top level wildcard is not allowed and will error under X source 3. Do I have X source 3? I don't, but I don't really care. Top level wildcards is not allowed and will error under def. Okay. Let's go back to my tests. Does it mean that let's try to get rid of this. Maybe. Yeah, and of course that doesn't work. Okay. Does that work? No, it doesn't. Okay, so that gives me a P of unit. Okay. And this thing here seems to be working. So let's try to run this again. Still failing, and I've got this top level wildcard is not allowed and will error under exhaust 3. But I'm not using Scala 3, I'm using Scala 2.13. I'm not using F3 anymore. I used to, and then I had some problems, and now I'm using Scala 2.13. So what does it mean? Let's do a quick search. Maybe that is something really obvious that I haven't thought of. I mean, it's Saturday morning and I'm not fully awake. Let's surround it with double quotes. Put a Scala. Okay. To the, where is it? Control F and deprecation warning in offset. Oh, I think I know why. That is because I told the compiler to consider warnings as fatal errors. Okay, let's deactivate that and try to run again. So I'm gonna just move it back to my test like that, and that should be a tiny bit better. Okay. I want to run this. Okay, I need to reload SBT in IntelliJ to apply this this thing. Okay, and these commands are not useful anymore. I probably could make, let's see, can I make the text while we wait? Can I make my code a bit bigger to see? Where is it? Is it in edit? No. I know that there is a way for others to see my code a bit bigger. Just can't remember what that is. Okay, that seemed to have succeeded. So why did it succeed? A, repeated any number of times. So sequence operator runs two parsers one after the other with optional white space in between. If both parsers return a value, this returns a tuple. But okay, let's think. So if I do A, that succeeds. Does it succeed as well if I try to do Let's try to run this thing. Tests. It seems to succeed as well. Okay. Um, so that repeats it many times, I guess. Huh. Okay, what is result? Result is a parsed of units. Parsed of units, meaning that... Okay, what is a parsed? Outcome of a parsing run, either a success with value and index or failure with associated debugging metadata to help figure out what went wrong. Doesn't contain any information not already present in parsing run, but packages up nicely in an immutable case class that's easy for external code to make use of. I like that. Okay. So that means that it returns a unit. So unit again is means nothing. Well, not really nothing, but it's like a void in Java. So here I am not supposed to be getting any value back. Okay. So let's see. Um, let's try to display something. So result, what is? So I've got result and I've got this get and I've got this fold. So on success, and so on success, I have a unit or an int. Okay, so unit would be the result of the parsing. Int would be an index. But I don't. Okay, let's try to can I um okay, so I have this result dot, can I do an as, well, I'm gonna do as instance of. So that is supposed to be, let's go back to the documentation. That is supposed to be, where is that? That is supposed to be a parsed dot success. Okay. As instance of, oh, I can do, um, so val equal result. So result is, so success is either t or index. What is this index? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, is it gonna run now? Because I am trying to force success to be 4. I don't know. So this underscore, I understand. Result is supposed to be returning nothing, so a unit. So that's why we can discard it with there's no problem. I'm not quite sure what this index stands for. Is there any indication what that is? Is it when the program ends? If I put like a C here and try to run, that should fail. And probably even explode or something. No, it succeeds. Okay, so here that means that my parser stops whenever it finds the first. Okay, so the index is when the expression completes. Huh, okay. Okay. I'm starting to get it. So this, everything that comes after this is not evaluated then. So that explains why that is a success. Okay. So this one, why is that a failure? Because I don't have two A's separated by a C. However, so if I take this guy, I'm gonna take my ABC like here. Okay. I'm gonna do I'm gonna comment these. Perfect. And val result. So let's do that. So val result equals this. So that right now, I just did a copy paste. That should work. I shouldn't have any surprises. Everything should be working fine. Yes. Okay, now if I add anything after this, that still will. These are elements that are not part of my parser. However, the parser, once it finds what it is looking for, will discard everything after. So that still should be a success. It is still a success. Okay, I think I am starting to understand this. Phew. Okay. Okay, so A can be repeated 2 times and 4 times. Yeah. Okay, cool. So optional, similar to wrap, is question mark, which creates a new parser that attempts to parse the given parser 0 or 1 times. Good. Good. Alright, either. So the pipe operator tries the parser on the left, and if that fails, tries the one on the right, failing only if both parsers fail. So what that means is we need to have A repeated any number of times with at the end B, C, or D and nothing else because we have the AND operator here. Ooh, good. So AND here, that's why. Okay, so parse with no AND or with AND. Did I have no AND is this one and with AND? Okay. So if I try now to do so I'm testing ABC, and if I do a tilde to say that I want to associate it with, was it N like that? Yes, it doesn't have any parameters or anything. So this one is going to succeed. And I'm going to copy. Control C, Control V. I'm going to call this one result 2. And I'm going to enter anything. So The first should be a success. However, result 2 should not be a success. So let's put a not in front of it. Because I have the end, so that after C, that should be the end of it. I shouldn't have anything else. So let's try to run that. Cool. And if I try to remove this, just to be on the safe side, now that should be giving me an error in my test. Perfect. Perfect. So, failed is success? No, because I found this at the end. So DKJF, DKJF, where's, okay, DKJF, SDKJ, okay. So this thing here, it found that and was not happy with it because there should have been nothing after this, but there was. Okay. I'm starting to get the gist of it. So let's go back here. And then I can use start. So which only succeeds at the start of the input. Okay, and then I've got parse and fail. So these two parses always succeed or always fail, respectively. Yeah, not what I am interested in. Okay, but knowing this, I know that I will need that. So index, def finder, hey, needle, hey. So hey, needle, hey. So here, always succeeds and provides the current index of the parse into the input string, useful for providing source location for AST nodes, consumes no input. So here that returns in index 9. So 3, 6, 9, and then here I've got my index, so that's where my needle starts. Good, and then I can have an A repeated any number of times. And because I am using this index, that's the index is returned here. Okay. I'm getting there. So capture. That is interesting. So success. That seems to be in exclamation mark. So here I say capture A any number of time and capture B. So here that gives me B and I pass AAA B and then I've got when this stops. Do not return any useful value. The success value attribute was always unit. In order to make them do so, you use the exclamation mark operation to capture the section of the input string the parser needs. Awesome. So that could be returning a string, a tuple string, a triple string, a sequence of strings, and an option of string. Okay, so option of string could be interesting. Okay, not the type of each parser. Okay, so this one, because I've got the question marks, question mark indicates that I could be getting 0 of them. So that's why I've got this sum of B. So this parser parses any single character successfully. It almost always succeeds, except if there simply aren't any characters left to parse. We have the positive look ahead. So let's stop for a second. Let's try to write something that should be easy enough. So in this process, I am going to define a parser, and probably there is already one that exists, but so let's do that. So private def, and I want to have a long parser. Okay, so this long parser, I'm going to be using the same thing as we had so far. So I've got this expression like that. Oh, I need probably to import my fast parse. Okay. So here I want to have, I'm going to use a P for a parser. And this long parser should be taking, I'm going to use parentheses to group these. So I could want to have 1 or 2 or no, 1, 2, and I'm sure that there must be some way for me to make this shorter, but right now I just want to test a few things. So here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. So that should match any number of times. So minimum should be min equals, I want to have at least one of them, and max is let's say that I'm going to put some random value. I want to have it repeated maximum 9 times. Let's okay, so I'm gonna, instead of putting some bad stuff in my bot shell evaluator, when this works, then we'll move it back. So okay, so here I have this thing here, and then I want to capture that. Yeah, private is not allowed in a method. Perfect. So here, that should give me something that contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 0, any number of time. Okay. So now can I so I've got this long parser here. So if I try to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this one should work. However, if I try to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, that should not work because I have 10 characters. And instead of ABC, I want to have my long parser here. Okay. So the first one should succeed, not the second one, because I have at least one character. Let's take another one, var result 3, and this one I'm gonna say parse of A with my long parser like this, and result 3 should fail as well. So not result 3 dot is success. Okay, so this one should fail as well because it is an A. This is not a number or a digit. Okay, let's try to run that. Okay, that failed. Why did it fail? So result 2 is a success. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So that should be here. I need to put, because every time I tend to forget it. And yeah, because the parser stops whenever it finds the first one. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Okay, now that should fail. Yes. Okay, good. Phew. Okay. Oh god, that is complicated. Okay, let's go back to the documentation and see if I have so positive look ahead, negative look ahead map. So, okay, after capturing something with tuple n, map lets you convert an arbitrary p of t into a p of v by providing a t to v function. Okay, so where is this map that he's talking about? Dot map. Okay, so here p, so I get a binary and then I map. So I take this integer dot parse int and 2. Okay, so if that is a okay, so this should. So right now, what this does is it's capturing everything that is made of 0 and 1, which is a binary. Then, so that gives me a string, and integer.parseInt is just parsing the string using the binary binary base. So that's why it gives me, so I've got, so 1, 0, 2, so that is 1, 2, 4, and 8. So that is 12. And yes, indeed, that is 12. Okay. All right. All right. Map, flat map. So flat map, I guess, must be something similar. Filter, opaque. I'm just skipping a few things. Okay, now I've got utilities. So utilities should allow me to have some things that have been already defined. Provide tools for many common use cases. You don't need to implement them yourself. Optimize and likely faster than whatever you could come up with on the spot. So carpred takes a car2 Boolean predicate and creates a parser that parses only single character that satisfies that predicate. You can use any of the helpful methods on Scala car to check if a car is upper, its digit is control, and so on. So here, that takes everything, any character that is upper, until we reach a dot and the end. Okay, And that makes sense. Car in. So similar to carpred, except you pass in literal strings containing regex style character ranges. This could be things like A, B, C, D to accept the first four characters, or A-Z, A-Z to accept all alphabets, both lower and uppercase. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. That's, it needs to be escaped if you want. Cars while. So here I want to capture everything that is not an empty. So okay, this is going to return 1, 2, 3. Okay. Goes while in, string in. So here, and that's okay. Cards. Whew, that is super nice. Let's take a look at example parsers. Okay, how does that fit together? So here I want to have characters that repeat at least once and map to int. So I want to okay, that is starting to make a bit more sense to me now. So I have characters between 0 to 9 repeated at least once. I want to capture this and then I want to transform it to an int. That's what number does. Here, I'm not quite familiar with this one. The tilde / I might want to look at this later. So Control C, Control F, and an iterator string to turn. Nope. The no as a shortcut for okay, so that means that this was defined before. Cuts are added using the operator, tilde / operator, which is similar to the sequence operator. Once the parser has crossed the cut, it can no longer backtrack past the point at which the cut occurred. Hence, in this case, you can see that it no longer backtracks to index 0 out of the enclosing either. Okay, so that means that once I pass this parenthesis, I can't go back before. Fair enough. Okay, I think I'm getting it. So factor must be either a number or a parenthesis. Okay, and this add sub here is so car or minus, car in plus or minus, then div more. Okay, so that's, ooh, that is going to be interesting. So, huh. So let's think about it for a second. So let's think about it. So first, so we've got some math operators, white space handling. For skipping spaces, tabs, multi-line white space for also skipping new lines and da da da. So here that's indentation grammar. Okay, so that allows indentation grammar. JSON, so if I want to do that, or Scala parse, if I really want to parse okay. We have also the possibility to do some Python parsing. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna take a short break. I need to stretch a bit and think about it. Think about it later. Oh, I like that. And it also talks about tools NSC global. So I might want to do that because that is a parser apparently. So tools NSC global Scala, is that the okay, I'm gonna do some research afterwards, but for now I am just going to just step out for a few seconds, stretch a bit. I need to do that, and be right back. Okay, so talk to you guys in a few seconds. All right, I'm back. Had to stretch a bit. Okay. So suddenly reading the documentation about where was that? No, where is it? Reading the documentation for fast parse using Scala parse makes me wonder, couldn't I just reuse the Scala parse instead? And that would allow me to just use a Scala syntax, which would make it so much easier for me. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can use that as well. So come Scala parse, okay. Um, so Scala bot, I guess. Yeah. So as I did before, I need to go back to my libraries. I'm going to add, so that's going to be the Scala parse version. Val Scala parse version. And I want to use, so val Scala parse equal that, like this, and I want to refer to Scala pass version, like that. Cool. So now that I have this, I need to add it to my import. So libraries dot Scala parse. So it might take a few seconds. Let's read the documentation in the meantime. Scala parse does not currently generate an AST. As you can see, the parse result above is listed as undefined. So, okay, so that is undefined. Manipulate Scala code sections. It's trivial to wrapper. Prototype extension to the Scala grammar. Scala parse makes it trivial to add new rules at various sections of a grammar. And manipulates Scala code sections. It's trivial to wrap various rules in Scala parse in an capture and use it to pull out the relevant bits. Can I modify this? I don't know. Let's try val test equal 1. Okay, so that is undefined, but that is not locked. Let's try that. Okay. Can I do in object main? So that gives me undefined. What I want though is I want to have this variable. Can can I can I extract it? So manipulate Scala code sections. It's trivial to wrap various rules in Scala parse in and capture and use it to pull out the relevant bits of Scala file for you to use. Okay, that is super interesting. Let's see. Do I have somewhere some examples of Scala parse? Scala parse combinator tutorial. Scala parser combinators. Is it what I am looking for? Easy way to design your own programming language using its parser library. Yeah. So I have digits, and number can be a digit or a digit and a number, operators, expression, number, operator, expression. Okay. We write a class that extends the parser trait. Here is an example of a class that extends regex parsers, which is a subtrait of parsers. Yeah, what about the imports, man? Regex parsers, new expression parser, and then we need to parse all. I don't think we're talking about the same Scala parser as this one. Let's keep it aside though. That might be interesting. I think it is referring to this tools NSC global thing that Lee is mentioning. So let's keep it aside for a bit. Scala parsers, combinators, formerly part of the Scala standards. So that if it is formally part of a Scala standard, that means that this is no longer part of it. Let's see. Is it? Can we see maybe a bit more? Scala standard parser combinator library. This library was originally part of a Scala standard library, but is now community maintained under the guidance of the Scala team at Lightband. Okay, so that means that this is no longer being used. Okay. So Scala parser. So Scala parse tutorial. Should I put? Let's run a search like this. So Scala parses combinators. Parsing in Scala. Do they have any? So we have functional TV here. Basically, I just want to have the same syntax as Scala and get and evaluate some of my things. So, okay, we need to do that as BT version. Yeah, not what I wanted to do. Okay. So I am trying to reuse part of the Scala parser in my own fast parser base parser. Specifically, I like to reuse the string parsing. So uh, I'm trying to see. Okay. I'm trying to find. Oh, I was about to forget the comma, so that's why it probably failed. Okay, come on, wake up. It failed? Okay, why? Uh-huh. Scala parse 205 not found for 213. Huh, okay. Not quite sure why. Let's try instead of the Scala parse version, and let's try with the fast parse version. Maybe this time it's gonna work. So let's try that again. And if that still doesn't work, not a big deal. I can probably switch gears and find something else instead. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, so fast Scala parse seems to be working with the same version as fast parse. Cool, 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 cool. So, is there any mention on how I can use, let's go here. So we've got ammonite, mill, fastbar, Scala tags, request Scala. Okay, the one repository I'm looking for is Scala parse. Oh, is it? Doesn't it have its own repository? Maybe it's in fastbars then. It probably is, yeah. Yes, yes it is. So, okay, let's take a look at the tests. So test utils. Maybe we can have something. So check neg. Because yeah, basically I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I just want to reuse an existing parser, have something nice, and be done with it. Make so test.scala. So that is, what is that? Exception to test source maps. Uh, so test util check string that no. Da, da, da. Where? Where? So builds the documentation site, which can then be found at readme target Scala text index.html. Okay. You can run the suites command commands. Fastparse, it lives in the fastpass folder. It is cross-built. Okay. 3 subprojects: Scala parse, Python parse, CSS parse are parsed fast parse parsers for those respective languages. These are both usable as standalone libraries and also serve as an extensive test suite and use case for fastparse itself. Um, hmm. Yeah, the documentation is this one. Debugging parsers, combinators, internals, nope. Example parsers, Scala parse. So I think undefined must be Scala parser is a parser for this for the entire Scala programming language. That is the JSON parser. And every time we are using cards, so not really what I'm interested in. And so here, if I were to define this val test equal 1, how would can I get this? Or can I get the value of 1 plus 1? Main dot test. Does it work? No, it doesn't. So how can I? Is listed as undefined? Check for errors. Prototype extensions. Manipulate Scala code sections. Do they have any examples of that? No, they don't. Okay, let's try. So I want to have, let's see if I can use Scala parse somehow. Val Scala parse result equal, and then I want to do a parse of so I'm just going to reuse the same example as I had. Where is it? Example Scala parse, and I'm just going to reuse this example here. Copy. There we go. Okay, Control V. So I want to parse this with the Scala parser. Scala parse dot Scala dot something. Okay, so here I can have all of my that is really interesting. So I can define some devs named implementation val var dev. Okay. So val, so this one should work. If I do val like that, that should. So let's see. Scala parse results dot is success, and I want to do a system out of my print line a set of my Scala parse result like this. Okay, so let's try to run this. And as we said, that doesn't generate an AST, so maybe that's not what I am looking for. However, Okay, so that is not a success, and I've got this failure here. And I see that I have to go in 20 minutes. So should I switch gears and try to use instead the external Scala library to parse stuff? Let's try to do that then. I mean, that's good, but okay, so val expression equals, so here that should be 1. And then I want to do a let, let's leave it aside for now. So I want to introduction to the Scala parser, and here we've got to use the Scala parser combinators. You need to add the following dependencies in your build.spt. Okay. So let's try to do that. I'm gonna add this one. So build.spt, I am going to remove the fast parse libraries for a sec. Instead, I'm gonna use Scala combinators. Val Scala combinators equal that. I'm not too sure about this version, so val Scala combinators equal this, and so that Scala combinators version, and there is a that should be a lowercase o instead. So for now it's going to be 1.0.5, and I want to use this, so Scala combinators version. Let's reformat everything so that it looks a bit better. I want to see in Maven Central what is the latest version of this guy. Google.ca, Maven Central repository. And I want to run a Scala parsers combinators. So we've got the native combinators 2.11, 2.13. 2.13 sounds good. And the latest version was 2.10 on September 27th. So I said 2.10. Scala combinators version, and we said 2.10. Cool. Okay, and I need to import the Scala combinators into my build.spt. So libraries dot Scala combinators like this, Control S. I'm saving this, and I'm going to so extracting project structure from SPT. Come on. In the meantime, let's read. So this one is the oldest one. So okay, here EBNF grammar for this language would look something like. So I can have some symbols which can be plus, minus, star, and I can have a parser that is 0 or 1 to 9 of any number dot r. Okay, so that means that this is a regex and regex, and then what I'm gonna do is I parse it to an int. So an expression is I have a number, a symbol and a number, and that gives me a first operand operator, second operand. All right. So that looks very similar to what we have. And here we've got these regex parsers like here. So here is the full code. I've got Scala util try, Scala util parsing combinator regex parsers. And I can have 5 plus 4 match. And then if it is a success, then I print the result. If it is a failure, then I indicate that there was a failure. And if there is an error, then I print out the error. Okay. So should I take this thing? Yes. So expression, where is expression coming from? That is coming from here. Extend Scala parser. So Scala parser is this one. So expression, that's why I can see it. So I am parsing. Parse is probably coming from regex parser. I pass the expression and I pass what I want to evaluate, and then I match it to the results. Okay. So let's go back here. Did the build complete? Yes, it did. But shell. Okay, so I'm going to put everything in here. I've got this clan. Okay. Let's take this whole example in here, paste it here. So import this guy here. We're also going to import this try. So if everything is a success, okay, val results of this parse expression and I will assert true of my results dot, come on, doesn't it? So that gives me a parse result. So okay, parse result, no, doesn't want to do that. Oh yeah, because I am out of my scope, that's why I can't see it. Oh, my brain is burnt. So I need to exit this and that. I'm going to change the Scala parser into an object. Scala parser like that. And then I will do Scala parser.parse. And then same thing, Control C, Control V of my expression. So 5 plus 4. Okay. So what does this one close? That closes the test. Okay. So here, what I want to do is I want to assert true that result dot get that gives me equal 9. So that should here, and that this expression 5 plus 4 should return 9. Okay, let's try to run this. Oh, not found, object fast parse. Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm not using it anymore, so that is the reason why it is breaking now. Okay, I don't have it here. Let's run it. Everything compiles. Parsing Java. Okay, so that works. So my symbols can be plus, minus, times. Let's try to put the division symbol as well. Okay, so validate and extract first value. So first operand, first value should be NN. So we try to convert this from a string to an int. If everything works fine, then I take the value and I return it. Otherwise, cannot convert values to integer. Okay, fair enough. We try to do the same thing with the second one. I'm not quite sure why he wants to separate these, but why not? Because that is strictly the same as the first one. Yeah, that takes the same signature, exact same behavior. Okay. And so the key thing here is this expression. So I take number, symbol, number, and then case first operand, operator second operand. Validate and extract first value, and plus validate and extract second value. Okay, so now the operator is, we're not even using the operator. So if I were to do 5 minus 4, and I'm expecting to be getting 1, I think that the example this guy gave us is not going to work. Let's try that. Because we are not even considering the operator. Yes, absolutely. It always tries to add. Okay. So let's see if we can do something with the operator. Operator match and case. So if it is a plus, then in that case we want to take and let's see. Control X. So val first value equal validate and extract first value of with the first operand. Val second value equals same thing as the other one. First of and then now we want to do this with a second operand. And now what we want to do is if this operator, so operator, if it is a plus, then I want to do first value plus second value. If it is a minus, like that, I want to do first value minus second value case times that is going to be first value times second value case divided, and this one could be triggering some problems. So first value divided by second value, like that. So already now my test should be working better. And I can get rid of this one. Okay, so let's try to run this. 5 minus 4 should be 1. So there might be some problems with how I extract the symbol, but no, that works. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, if I try to do 5 times 4, that should be 20. So my result here should be 20. Let's try that. Yes. I wonder what happens if I try to divide by 0. It is probably going to break, and it should break. Because we can't divide by 0. Yes, so here we had an arithmetic exception divided by 0. Sweet, exactly what I want. So I will need to surround this with a try. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's surround this whole thing with a try. Okay, so result 5 divided by 0, result should be is failure. So now that should be working. Cool, yeah. Good, 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 good. All right. And I see it's already 1, and as usual, I have to go. So I think I'm gonna go with this thing that seems to be a bit more adapted to what I am trying to do. So I have this, and then my parser could be 0, 1, 9, and then followed by any number of okay. And what happens if I try to pass a something, so 5 divided by hello? That doesn't make any sense. That should fail, so hopefully that will fail. So it succeeded, but as a fail. So my try is not a try anymore. Okay, so that is a failure. I'm not quite sure how this RF works, but I don't really have the time to investigate this a bit further. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the stream right now. Thanks everyone for your time. I personally discovered a lot about fast parse and this kind of stuff, but it doesn't seem to be what I'm looking for. Really, what I'm looking for is an abstract syntax tree that I can evaluate. Fast parse, as the name indicates, just parses things and does not create any tree out of it. But this evaluator, this regex parser, seems to be working just fine for me. So I think I will investigate that a bit further. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and talk to you soon. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye.